Week 7, y'all, with college football. It was probably the wildest week yet. Lots of different upsets, lots of good games, but nonetheless, we still prevailed and came out ahead. Not by much. It was our worst week in a while, but we were still ahead. So that's all that needs to be said. So let's get into the recap. We got Missouri State, Tulane, Washington, Iowa, the Texas, Oklahoma under, BYU money line, San Diego State continues to deliver for us, and Georgia in the wallet. We pushed with Bama. We lost Oregon, we lost Tennessee, we lost Iowa State, Louisiana Monroe, and Old Dominion. So the wallet goes 8-5 with a push. Last week, good enough for positive $21.69. We'll take it. On the show, we got Tulane. We got the shootout with South Florida and North Texas. We got Miami of Ohio. We got the Red River rivalry under. We got Maryland. We got Wake Forest. We got Temple. We got Iowa. We hammered this section right here. Clemson, Georgia, USC, Purdue, BYU moneyline, and San Diego State, with Iowa being a live play, best bet, and BYU, San Diego State, best bets as well. We missed Arizona State, Louisiana Monroe, Tennessee, which, by the way, they were covering there for a minute, and then they just kind of said, screw it, let's focus on Bama, and Arkansas came back. I was at that game, by the way. Iowa State, we missed Old Dominion, TCU, James Madison, Oklahoma State, Florida State, Illinois, Cincinnati, and Louisiana Tech. So on the show, we went 2-1 on best bets, 3-1 on best bets, 14-12-1 on the show. Not bad. How we doing, y'all? Hey, Magical Katina, how we doing? Oh, look at that little, I like that new emblem you got there. The badge. Playing some Overwatch this year. Looking, appreciate the lurk. How we doing, Mr. Toff? How are things over there in Denmark? So, there's your Week 7 recap. Let's get into Week 8, shall we? And I will be in Nevada Thursday through Sunday, getting in on this action on a guys trip that I go on every other year. The guys go on every year, but because I live the furthest away, I go every other year. So it is basically a sports, food, you name it, type of trip for the guys. So we will be hammering these games. So let's get into Week 8. We got a couple games tonight already going on. Liberty is hammering New Mexico State. Didn't get in on that. And we got South Alabama beating Arkansas State. I didn't get in on that either. I did, however, get in on Western Kentucky, and it's not looking so good right now. So hopefully they come back. I mean, they are way better than FIU. I'm not sure what's going on there, but there's still a lot of ball left, so we'll hope that the Hilltoppers come through. But I did get on that. That's my only action tonight. I'm not touching any of these. I probably will take Delaware tomorrow. I like this Blue Hens team. Jacksonville State's decent, but I don't know. I just feel like Delaware's a little bit better, so I will take the Blue Hens on that. And with Tulsa, East Carolina, I love the Pirates. I even got a Pirate sweatshirt. You know, I'm a Pirate fan in general. I mean, I got a Pirate map behind me. I like piracy, but this is a lot of points for the Pirates to lay. I think I'm going to stay away from this one, but I could be talked into a East Carolina play if it gets down to 16.5. I don't think we can get 16.5. Maybe DraftKings has a better number. Maybe MGM. No, they're all 17.5 right now. So right now it's a pass. Miami, Louisville. A lot of points for Miami to lay. Louisville, they're not bad. But Miami is looking pretty good right now. And they had a bye week. They had an extra week to prepare. So being at home, being the better team, I got no problem laying the 2 touchdowns here with the Hurricanes. This has been a weird one. So I believe this started at 6.5, and then it got all the way up to 9.5, and now it's down to 8.5. So the market's going all over the place on this game. Early sharp money came in on the Cornhuskers. If I had seen the 9.5, I probably would have went on Minnesota, actually, because they're at home. That's a lot of points for Nebraska to lay. We saw that last week at Maryland. Maryland's better team. But I do want this to get down to -7, and then I could be talked into taking Nebraska because Minnesota is trending in the wrong direction right now. We could be looking at PJ Fleck and company being on the hot seat in the near future if they don't figure things out. It'd be Utah State or pass with this game. Maybe Utah State money line. It's kind of a coin flip game, but Utah State being at home, better coach, slightly better coach. I mean, both coaches are good. Niumatalolo at San Jose State's pretty good as well. But I think Utah State's a slightly better team. I like Cal here. I'll be picking Cal. I will be betting this in Nevada. I will take Cal. Long trip for North Carolina to make. North Carolina has kind of been a disaster under first-year head coach Bill Belichick. So I don't see things changing yet. I mean, Cal's that's a lot of points for Cal to lay, but I think you're still getting a pretty good deal. I feel like Cal wins by maybe 13. This is a funny one. Georgia Tech started as a 3-point underdog to Duke. Somebody knows something here because Duke is not ranked, and Georgia Tech is undefeated and ranked 12th in the nation. Duke has lost twice, so somebody knows something here. I know Duke's a pretty good team. 4-2, you might think they're not that great, especially since they got hammered by Illinois, but they actually are probably one of the better 4-2 teams. So because this is a fishy line, originally I was like, dude, what? I mean, Georgia Tech, you got to take Georgia Tech, right? I do like Georgia Tech here, but actually the models like Duke to win this game. They give them a 60% chance to win this game. So it's a puzzling one. I don't know. I don't have any reason why Duke is favored here. But I will say if this got to like 4, I would definitely be all over Georgia Tech. So right now, this is a no play for me. I still would kind of lean with Georgia Tech from a talent perspective, but right now I'd be on the over. I think this game plays in the 30s. That way you don't got to worry about the fishy line. Just go with the over. There'll be some fireworks. Arizona, Houston. This is a flip a coin type of game. Houston being at home. Arizona lost a heartbreaker in overtime last week to BYU. We needed that because we had BYU. I mean, yeah, that's a stay away from me. I mean, literally just flipping a coin at this point. Okay, sharp money's coming in on Washington, it looks like. So this was 6, now it's 5.5. Michigan, I feel like, is slightly overrated. I think Washington's pretty decent. They have gone off to bad starts, though, in recent weeks. So I almost want to look at what's the first quarter line for this, maybe even the first half. Michigan minus 3.5. What about the first quarter? Michigan minus 1.5. Okay. I feel like Michigan could be up 3 on this, but if that was, I'm going to stay away for now, but just keep this in mind. Washington has been slow to start their games lately, and then they come back. That's 2 games in a row they've done this. They did it with Rutgers. They did it with Maryland. Maybe that's just who they are on the road. I don't know. But they should be used to the East Coast Central Time Zone now because they have played Rutgers and they have played Maryland. So this is their 3rd time coming over here, so they should be used to it by now. So that's not a factor here. Michigan's pretty good home venue. I feel like if this gets to 6, I'm probably going to be on Washington. It is 6. I'll take the Huskies here. It's a small lean though, just to lose by maybe 4 or 3. They could win the game too. That's the thing. It's like you want to take an underdog you think could potentially win the game. Sometimes there's just too many points involved. But if there's an underdog where you think there's a slight chance they could win the game, you kind of have to take the points. And that's kind of what I see here. Miami of Ohio is the best team in the MAC, so I feel like you got to lay it with them every week. And this is a lot of points to lay, but I feel like it's reasonable. East Michigan's pretty bad. I feel like they win by 14 here, so I'll go with the Red Hawks. I like Vanderbilt. I will be betting this. LSU's top 10 team, but at Vanderbilt, they got a little something going on. They also had an extra week to prepare here. And Vanderbilt kind of needs to win this game. I mean, both teams really do for the playoff hopes. It's a huge game. But I feel like for Vanderbilt, it's even larger because they got Tennessee still. And I think they got one other really tough opponent. So if they get by LSU here, they're in really good shape because then that will give them, 2 or 3 ranked wins on the year. So this is really important for Vandy. And I feel like being at home, it's a good spot for them. I feel like moneyline would probably be a bit even better play here just in case they do win by 1 or 2. But I'll take Vandy here. Also, another thing to note, LSU does not handle running quarterbacks very well, and that's what Diego Pavia does. Wrong team favored here. UConn is underdog at Boston College for some reason. UConn is better, and both these teams go in opposite directions. UConn's figured something out. Boston College continues to get blown out. So I'm going with UConn here. That's a small road trip too. That's what is that? Couple hour bus ride. Bowling Green. I'm on Bowling Green here. Eddie George got something going on there. They're playing pretty well. First year for him. Central Michigan had a puzzling loss to Akron the other week, and I think Bowling Green can pull this off here. We can get 3.5 versus 4.5. Sharp money coming in on Bowling Green here, so you might want to get on them early. Tulane's better team here, but Army. This is a rematch for last year's AAC championship game, and Army was underdog in that, and they won outright. I imagine this is going to be on Tulane's minds. They're going to want a little revenge here. I think they're going to win the game. I feel like 9.5 is a lot because Army's kind of a wild card team this year. You don't know which Army team's going to show up. The one that beat Kansas State, or is it the one that lost to Tarleton State? I mean, who knows? So that is a pass for me. But I do think Tulane wins the game. Rivalry here. TCU Baylor. That goes back a long, long time. And I don't know if we can get better number here, but we usually see a lot of points in this game. So overs usually come in for this rivalry. I think TCU's the better team. But you're not getting a great price on the money line here. Oh, you can get 135 over on DraftKings. That's a little bit reasonable. I would probably lean money line TCU here, but they could win by a field goal. They are better, and they kind of need this game because they already got 2 losses. So another loss, and I think they're probably done for Big 12 title standards. So. And same with Baylor. They kind of need this one too. But I think they only have 1 league loss, right? Or are they undefeated? I know they lost to Auburn. Yeah, they lost to Arizona State. So they both teams kind of need this one here. TCU with 2 losses, Baylor with 1. So it's more important TCU, and they're at home. I'm going to go with the home team that's, I think, slightly better. I don't know what to do with Oklahoma because John Mateer even though he played last week, he threw 3 interceptions against Texas. But one thing I've been doing this year with Oklahoma, they are 6-0 to the under. I'm going to keep that train riding, and I'm going to take the under as well. I'm going to keep that under train going until it doesn't hit. They're just an under team. They play really good defense. And quite frankly, South Carolina only put up 10 on LSU. I think LSU is a slightly worse defense than Oklahoma. So what makes you think South Carolina's going to get more than 10 points here? And so you're thinking what, 16-10 game? Yeah, give me the under. West Virginia, UCF. I don't like this number. I think it's right on. I feel like UCF wins by 7. So either way you slice it, it's a half point. I think you got to wait for this to get down to -7, and you go with the Knights at the jump house. But right now, yeah, I'm not touching that. That's Toledo pass. Purdue's been covering as of late, but Northwestern looked pretty decent last week at Penn State. Now they're back at home. I would like this more at 3. Historically, these two play close games. They did last year, if I'm not mistaken. And unders usually come in as well. I think sharp money has come in on the under in this game. What is it over here? Yeah, so it's already been hit a full point over on DraftKings, and we got a 47.5 here. So slightly into the under in this game. I'd like Northwestern better if this was -3 or -2.5. As it stands right now, it's probably a money line Northwestern because, they could win by 3 and you wouldn't get it. I wonder why Troy's favored there. I'm not going to touch that game. This is a hard one here because this is a rivalry, so usually it's a close game. But I do think Texas A&M might be the best SEC team right now. They're definitely the most consistent, and they have been covering games. But 7.5 is a lot to lay in a rivalry game on the road. You kind of wonder what Arkansas is going through right now because they did play against Tennessee fairly well now that they fired Sam Pittman. And Bobby Petrino looked like they had a little extra magic on the offense. Defense seemed like it was better as of late as well. Looks like they're expecting fireworks here with 61.5 total. Part of me wants to take the Hogs here at the 7.5. But if this gets down to 6.5, I would swing it the other way with the Aggies because I think they win by 7. Ole Miss, Georgia. I like Lane Kiffin here. I know they sucked last week against the Cougars, but I think they had Georgia on their minds. And that was an early kickoff. Lane Kiffin wasn't back from he'd only been back from his yoga class for, a half hour? I think this is a barn burner. And Georgia's only covered, 1 or 2 games this year? I think you got to take Ole Miss here just to keep it close. Good game. Game day is going to be there. I feel like this comes down to the wire, maybe a 3 or 4 point game. So because of that, I'm going to take the underdogs with Ole Miss. I have no idea why Boise State's getting 12.5 here over UNLV. I got to take UNLV here. They're undefeated. I know Boise State is a 2-loss team, but they're still pretty good. But 12.5 is insanity. Last year this line was 6? And that was a better Boise State team. So I don't know why it's 12.5 here. Maybe they market is a little down on UNLV. I think there's too many points. I feel like Boise State wins this by 7. So that is almost a best bet. Seriously, 12.5 is way too many points for this. I don't understand. It's 11.5 on DraftKings, so get that 12.5 while you can. Air Force is an over team this year. They are undefeated to the over, so keep that in mind. That's a lot of points, though, because Wyoming, they don't really score that much. This could be the market trying to finally get an under to come in with Air Force. But understand, Air Force is undefeated to the over. I think you got to slam Temple here. It's a lot of points for Temple to lay. But Temple almost beat Navy last week, and Navy's undefeated, really good team. I know they're on the road, but Charlotte's not really a rocking atmosphere for football. So I think Temple wins this by 14 here. Charlotte's just really bad. I mean, look how bad North Carolina's been, and even they hammered Charlotte. I think Charlotte's kind of regretting the coach leaving there. Is that Michigan now? Let's see what else we got here. This would be North Texas or pass. Short line, in my opinion. Sharp money's been coming in on SMU. I think this was at 10. Now it's 8.5. Sharps are right 60% of the time. Maybe not 60, but like 58. It is a lot of points for Clemson to lay against a decent team. But SMU hasn't been covering that much this year. This is a pass for me. I think it might be a little overreaction with Indiana here, but I do think that they kind of hammer Michigan State. It's a lot of points. They're at home, but they beat Illinois by a lot. They've beaten a lot of teams by a lot of points this year, so they could do it to Michigan State as well. Let's just hope they don't have a hangover from the Oregon win. This is a big game next week as far as Group of 5 goes. I mean, this is huge. Now, James Madison is 6-0 to the under this year. So I would be taking the under here. This is also a rivalry. Both these teams are in Virginia. So there's a lot on the line here. It was even more on the line had Old Dominion won last week, but they didn't. I think that James Madison is going to win this game. This is almost a best bet, but it's only not because it's a rivalry. So give me the Dukes here. I think that they have playoff on their mind right now, and that's they just got to get by this game, and that might be it for them. Okay. Ohio State's covered every game this year, and now they're playing a struggling Wisconsin team. So I feel like they win this by around that number. This is pretty well priced. I'm trying to see if I can get a better number over here, but I'm not finding the game. So I feel like this is an Ohio State or pass. Who does Ohio State play next week, though? Do they have a look-ahead spot potentially? I feel like they don't. No, they got Penn State on. No, they got a bye. Yeah, they're gonna hammer Wisconsin. It's a lot of points to lay on the road in Madison, but Wisconsin has not been very good this year. I don't think they score. I really don't. At best, they get 3 points. So can Ohio State get to 28 or 30? Yeah, I think they can. I'm not touching this game until I have more news on Sam Leavitt. I need to know if Arizona State's quarterback is playing. They list him day to day right now because this line is spot on. If Sam Leavitt is not playing, so if he is playing, this is probably more like 6.5, maybe 5.5. Really, I really feel like they kind of hit the middle ground here because if he's not playing, I feel like it's like 14, maybe 12. So I just need to know. I need to know if he's playing or not. If he is not playing, then 8.5 is a lock. Texas Tech will beat him by 10 at least, for sure. Texas Tech is undefeated to against the spread this year, by the way. Bet the house on the Dogs. How we doing, Dawson? I actually think Ole Miss covers, but I think the Dogs win. If that makes sense. I think it'll come down to the wire, field goal finish. I think that 7.5 is a little bit much this week for that. Last week was exciting though for them as well. All right, here's our first best bet of the week. Memphis has yet to not cover this week. So what makes you think they're not going to cover against a bad UAB team that just fired their coach? Give me the Tigers. They got playoff on their minds. They're undefeated. All they do is cover University. Give me the minus 21. I think you can get a 21 somewhere. So we will be taking Memphis here. I mean, they're just flat out better. I think they could win this game by 40. The UAB doesn't play any defense, and Memphis scores. So this could get ugly. But yeah, that's the easy pick for me. Go Tigers. Memphis, dude, Memphis is so good. I think they'll end up being the 12th seed if they win out here. I mean, they will be, actually. I don't know what to do with Florida, Mississippi State. And I'm going to probably be talked into picking this game at the table in Nevada this weekend. Somebody's going to have a lean, and I'll end up throwing them $10. Because surges happen. That's just what happens on guy trips. Man, I don't know. A part of me wants to do Mississippi State because they are 5-1 against the number this year. Do we know if Florida plays next week? Isn't it Georgia? I feel like a Georgia game's coming up. If it is, they'll be looking ahead. It is Georgia, but they got a bye in between, so maybe they won't be looking ahead. Did you already bet on Kansas State FIU? I don't think I've seen it yet. Oh, Western Kentucky plays FIU, though. I took Western Kentucky, which is actually not looking too good right now, but it's early. I don't know what to do here. I feel like Florida, for some reason, wins this game by 7. That's why I'm kind of partially leaning to the Bulldogs. But as things stand right now, this is a pass for me. The number's spot on. There's no value. Southern Miss is better than Louisiana, but they're on the road. Mini rivalry here. I'm just staying away from this, but I could be talked into an over. A lot of points for Virginia to lay, but they have been playing well. I'm not doing that one. You guys are going to hate me for this, but I actually don't think Oregon can cover this. I know I'm going against my alma mater this week. I think this is too many points coming off a game day loss. And now you're going all the way to New Jersey. And now you have to win by 18. That's a lot. I feel like why do I feel like they win by 14 or 10? You know, a little bit of a letdown spot. And next week they have a little bit bigger of an opponent. Greg Schiano's probably going to get them ready, too. This is a big game for Rutgers at home here. So I feel like this is just too many points. I know Oregon's good, but it's more of a spot situation here. So I feel like, unfortunately, Rutgers is going to cover this game. Hey, how we doing, Buddha? It's a Tuesday game, so I don't know if it might fall in next week's bets. Oh, it's next week. Yeah, that'll be in next week. Yeah, for sure. I gotcha. Kansas State playing really well right now, by the way. All right, here we got another best bet here. Let's see if you guys can figure it out. We got the fight song now. Yeah, Owl's doing good. They got it going. I'm going with Iowa. Penn State fires James Franklin, and they're on their backup quarterback. I don't even know if they've named the starting quarterback yet. I feel like it's going to be Gronk, but I don't know. Guess what, chat? Before all of this happened, Iowa still only would have been maybe +3 at the beginning of the year for this game because Iowa's a tough place to play at. So are you trying to tell me that losing your starting quarterback and your coach is only going to swing the points 5? No, get out of here. That's like a 10-point swing. Iowa's going to cover this game and win by 7. So give me the Hawkeyes all day. They're the -2.5. Tough place to play, especially without your starting quarterback. You haven't had a lot of time to prepare either. Staying away from those. You've got Penn State winning? Really? A little bounce back spot? I feel like they bounce back in their next game. If I were a betting man, it's buying low. The whole thing is like, what would the line be if everybody was there? And that's kind of what I'm looking at. I feel like the line should have moved significantly more without the starting quarterback and coach. But who knows? Maybe they get up for the assistants. The thing is, the players in this situation, they liked James Franklin a lot. They are really hurt by the news. It was the fans that wanted him out, not the players. At UCLA, it was a different story. They have gotten behind the assistants, and now they're doing well. And that's kind of why I think UCLA is going to keep that ride going against Maryland. So I'm going to take UCLA again, 3 straight weeks. They have figured something out, and Maryland's coming all the way over to LA for this. Texas, Kentucky, I have no interest right now. Probably an under, because Kentucky can't score, and Texas defense is pretty good. Texas does seem like they've figured things out, though, but this is on the road, and you're coming off of a rivalry win, sometimes a little bit of a letdown spot. But yeah, I'm not touching that. I'd say under or nothing. I think Texas, I think they've woken up too. I do. I think they finally figured it out. All it takes is beating your rival sometimes. Yes, the third Saturday of October rivalry. Alabama, Tennessee. I got to take the Vols here. There's too many points. Bama's the better team right now. But the margin between these two teams is not super big. Both teams score really well. Really, the only difference between these two is the defense. Alabama's defense is better than Tennessee's right now. Part of it is Tennessee has a couple of DBs that are hurt. But yeah, Alabama's playing better D right now. And it's a rivalry. This is a huge game because both teams have one loss. So this kind of is an elimination game. I do think either of these teams could get in with 3 losses, maybe. It's a big maybe, though. So this is a huge game. And the loser of this is not going to be in the SEC title game. So it's a pretty big game. That's why I think this is going to be between the number. 8.5 is too much. This was at 9.5 at one point. Too many points. And you know everybody's going to bet on Bama, so you might get an even better number come Saturday. This could blow up to 10.5 potentially. I mean, I'm on the Vols here just to keep it with a number. No bias here. It's just simple numbers game. Welcome in, Bugatti B. Georgia makes me so mad. We always have a way of making Bama elite again. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, Georgia will be better than Bama the whole year, but they'll lose to Bama. It's so odd. They just seem to have their number. USC, Notre Dame, it's a lot of points again. 9.5. Like, what are we doing here? I know Notre Dame is really fired up that this is now a ranked game because their season was dead in the water when they were sitting there at 0-2. And now, all of a sudden, they're ranked 13th again, feeling good about themselves. They can finally get another good win under their resume. Probably their best win of the year, really. So they're really excited that USC's ranked. But 9.5? What are we doing here? This is going to be between 9, right? That's too many points. USC scores too many points to get blown out. I mean, come on. That's not going to happen. USC just blew out Michigan. And Notre Dame, every time they've played a ranked team this year, has lost. You know what I'm saying? Give me USC. How we doing, Bailey? Okay. Appreciate that resub. It's 49 months with the L spam. We had to get all of our sillies out before bedtime. Nice. Probably because Kirby is just Saban Jr. They know exactly what philosophy we use. That's part of it for sure. Yeah, I'm on USC here. Just too many points. Rivalry. Come on. I think Notre Dame wins the game, but that's too much. But to be honest, you also got to think, can USC win this game? They have the talent to win this game. So if you think that USC has a slight chance to win the game, you got to take the underdog. That's just the way it goes. You got to have that logic. This is South Florida pass. FAU's not very good. South Florida's a pretty good team. Look at that over-under, 73.5. Might be a slight overreaction to last week when there was like 100 points scored. I don't know if FAU can put up enough points to keep up with the 73.5, though. I'm going to be taking a look at that before the end of the week. I'm just not ready for it yet. Where are we at here? We should be getting close to wrapping up here before we head on to racing. Pitt coming off an emotional win and now on the road at Syracuse, letdown spot. Part of me thinks Cuse keeps this within the number because Pitt just beat FSU. Yeah, I'm staying away from that for now. Missouri and Auburn. I mean, really, put the rankings aside here, and do you see a talent difference between these two teams? I don't see too much. They're pretty even. That's why the number is what it is here. Auburn is at home. They desperately need this game. I would have a small lean to Auburn here to pull off the upset. But we're talking about a very small lean because this is also Missouri's first road game of the year. So I'm on Auburn here. I don't know why it keeps jumping like that. Okay, we have another best bet situation. Let's fire up the song. We've heard it. We heard it last week as well. There it is. There it is. USC versus Notre Dame, battle of the perpetually overrates. I actually do think they're both decent. But, yeah, Notre Dame's a little overrated. They should be like 20 instead of 13. Give me the Cougars at BYU. What are we doing here? What are we doing? This is a rivalry. This is the holy war. BYU beat them last year, and they were underdogs. Come on. I know Utah's going to want revenge, especially after the fiascos that happened with the refereeing last year in this game. Go back and watch that. There was absolute disaster. They had every reason to be mad, but 3.5 at home at night. BYU is one of the toughest environments to play in. It gets loud and wild there, and you got elevation, which Utah's used to that. I don't know why it's 3.5. I don't know. This game always comes down to a field goal or a safety. Like, let's be real here. That should not be 3.5, especially for the... I would expect 3.5 to BYU. Wrong team favored here. Wrong team favored. Give me BYU to at least keep it close, if not win the game. I feel like Cincinnati hammers Oklahoma State. They're a lost program right now, but 21.5 is a lot on the road to lay. I would like this better at 21. We'll see what happens with that. It's a sincere pass. And I think that's all we're going to talk about here. Florida State, where are their heads right now? Kind of up their butts. I mean, losing to Pitt, that was weird. You kind of wonder, do they care anymore? I mean, Stanford's really bad, but does Florida State care? I'm staying away from this game. I don't know if Florida State cares. Obviously, talent-wise, they should cover this, but I don't know where their heads are at. And this is a pass as well. So, yeah, there we are, chat. Let's get the best bets on the board here, and we'll swap over to gaming. We got Iowa -3, BYU +3.5, and Memphis -21 if you can get that. USC never has any reason to be that high. True. I do think they are on the uptick. They do get good recruits down there in LA. They have the advantage from a recruiting standpoint usually. Both decent, but I swear they both always start out top 10. Yeah, they always do have a high rank. Penn State kind of the same way. I'll be curious to see what Oregon does the rest of the season. I really only think they're going to, at most, lose one more game before postseason. I don't know who's going to be two. I mean, they do got USC and Washington still, and at Iowa will be tricky. Other than that, I think they went out. But, yeah, I think they'll finish either 10-2 or 11-1, and then we'll see what happens from there. But, yeah, I'm going to transition to racing. Y'all be responsible here. And I will, if you're just here for sports, then I will catch you next week.